InDesign Exercise 2. Download the Exercise 2 materials. You have the instructions, example of what we're doing, what it should look like, which you can refer to see where to place your different objects, the text that you're going to be using, and in the images folder, images that we're going to be placing into the document. So go to InDesign, make a new file, and per the instructions, working in inches, it's going to be 8 inches by 8 inches, 5 columns, 0.2 inch gutter, and a 0.125, an eighth of an inch bleed. So that's our starting point. And refer to the instructions. We're going to draw 3 10-point lines that follow the grid. So the grid is under Grids and Guides, Show Document Grid. With the line tool, start at the top margin, click and drag to the right, starting at the 4th column, and take it off to the bleed, which is the red line. While it's selected, make it 10 points. Then you can duplicate it or clone it by holding down the Option key, click and drag, make 3 of those. They should be equally spaced. So follow the grid lines. All right, go to the instructions. We're going to create a new swatch, 9, 95, 92, 1. CMYK is always listed in that order, and you'll see the same order in the swatches within InDesign. So to see the swatches, go to Window, Color, Swatches. To make a new swatch, click the plus sign, double-click the swatch that appears, then you can put in the numbers 9, hit Tab to go to the next box, 92, 95, 1. Just double-check that that's correct. 9, 95, 92, 1. Say OK. First one was selected, so that took the color. Select the next two, hold the Shift key to multiple select, and choose your new swatch. Okay, one thing to be aware of, I'm using Essentials Classic, which gives me this bar at the top, which is contextual as in Illustrator, and allows you tools based on what you're working on, what you've got selected. Okay, so we're done with swatches for at the moment. So we're going to place the forward by text. So go back, go to File, Place, make sure you're in Exercise 2. ID Exercise 2 Text. Place. Cursor will load. You can put this off to the side on the clipboard. Click and drag a box, and it'll fill. So double click, get the text tool, take the first text, cut it, Command X, paste it, Command V. Stretch your box out a bit. Place it on the first rule. You can use the arrow key to bump it into place. Double click to get the text tool. Control A, select all. And now we're going to set the font, the weight, the size, and the leading. So this is going to be Helvetica Neue medium, white, 8-point. So I've got Helvetica, but it's not Helvetica Neue. Add leading so that the text is sitting within those red bars. Okay, now I got a red square indicating that I don't have enough space, so I'm going to stretch this out a bit, and I can see my last one, my last line. Double click again, and I'm going to set the text color to paper, which is white. Okay, now we're going to place the IBM logo and scale it to 17%. And I'll do this by the instructions, but this isn't how I normally place and size images. So we'll do the first one by the instructions, and then I'll show you how I normally do the images just when I'm working on things. So go to File, Place, IBM logo, Open. Okay, so this is huge. We're going to make it 17%. I hit Tab there to bring it down to size, and then roughly place it. You'll have to refer to the finished example to see exactly where these belong. So now I'll show you how I normally do things. If I use a document or a frame here, create a frame, a box for this to go into, place. Now I'm going to use the UPS logo. Replace selected item. So that means the box that I've got selected, it's going to go into that. Okay, again, it's huge. But if you go to Object, Fitting, Fit Content Proportionally, it'll make it fit that frame, which is a lot quicker. And normally you don't know what the percentages are. So if you've got a rough idea what as to what you want your image to look like, it's a little bit quicker. And I'm just roughly placing these. I'll refer back to the finished example once I've got my images placed. Westinghouse logo, 100%. So for this one, I'll just place it. I'm not going to create a box first. Make sure it bleeds off the page. Okay, so for this one, we're going to place it off the page, and we'll refer to the example. So the base under the W displays half of the W is cut off, or half the ball on the side. So I'm going to slide that over. So roughly, that's where you want to be. And you don't have to do this, but just so I can keep things visually relatively clean, I bring the box in so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now to refer to the example, the UPS is a little bit closer to the Westinghouse. These don't have to be perfect. I'm not going to grade on perfect. Okay, we're going to put in the type Paul Rand. You can type it in or you can copy and paste it from the text document. So I'm going to start with the text tool, create space for it, type it in, lowercase, Command A. This is going to be Helvetica Neue bold 43 point. Start typing Helvetica and it'll jump to it. And to type in a number that's not going to be pre-populated, just type it in 43. Okay, again, my box wasn't large enough, so I'll stretch that out. Okay, so we're given a coordinate, so we know exactly where it's at. When you're working with coordinates, be cognizant of this little box up here at the top with the 9 squares. That correlates with where it's measuring. So I want to measure the top left corner. And it's going to be put at 2.0971. So that's going to be the Y. Hit tab. So now you know that it's in the right place. Deselect. The Paul Rand photo. Place the image scale down to 89%. So I'm going to create a frame. Place the image. It's a .psd, which is a Photoshop file. Then I'm going to scale it to 89. Hit tab. All right, so that scaled my frame. So I'm going to use fitting, fit content proportionally. So that fit it left to right, top and bottom, I've got some room. One thing to be aware of when you're working with images in InDesign, I'm going to line that up with the frame or with the grid. When an image is selected, the outline is blue and there's this ring in the center. The ring in the center controls the image. The blue controls the frame. So I'm going to make this frame a little bit smaller, following the grid lines. And then by clicking on that ring, that controls the image. So I'm going to size this image up. You can see how it won't display past the frame. And while it's this mustard color, I can move the image within the frame. And when you deselect, if you select that again initially, you get the frame to be selected. And then by clicking on the ring, you're working with the image itself. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. So make it look good to your eye. paragraph text. We've got one column of text. We're going to create a text box that spans 2 columns under the Paul Rand photo. Text tool, 2 columns, go all the way down to the margin. And now I'm going to just select this text that I placed before. And I'm getting a red square, so there's more text available. I want to make sure I get all of it. Select that. I'm going to cut it, click into my text frame, and paste it. Control V. All right, so now I have to size this. So text tool, click into the text, Command A, select all of it, which will get text that's not displaying. If you've got a red square with a plus sign displaying, like it is down here, there's more text than is displayed. So by selecting all, you'll get all of the text, and it'll all be modified based on your font and on your text size. So we're going to make that Helvetica Neue Light 8.5 on 15. Okay, 8.5, you're going to have to type that in. Tab to get to the leading. I'm going to make it 15. Selection tool, deselect. Okay, there's 2 pages to this. Now we're going to create a page number. We're going to create a square, 0.1389 by 1.389. So this is frame, rectangle tool. Use the rectangle tool. Don't try to drag out a square to that size. Just make a square, and then in the width and height, 0.189, 0.1389, by 0.1389. Hit tab. All right, so there's my square. Click on the fill box. We're going to use the same red as we used for the rules, the lines. Make that red. Okay, so that's a small square. We're going to place it to the left of the 3rd column. You're going to place a 1 in there, Helvetica 8-point, and it's going to be white. So make a text box, type the number 1, select it, Helvetica Neue Light 8-point white paper. Okay, and then you want to place that in the box. And you can use the arrow keys to bump that into place. So take a look at the example. See that you've got it relatively close to how that looks. Save the file. It's going to be ID underscore exercise 2 underscore your first initial and your last name, and then it'll save as a .indd file. Save that file and submit that, to Blackboard.